I'm Maria Hebenstreit. I'm member of the board of the Foundation of Industrial Heritage of Puerto de Sagunto. The board is made up of 3 entities. That's the City Council of Sagunto, the local government of the Valencian community, and the Centre de Estudis. That's the local historical association, which I represent in the board of the foundation. The foundation's aim is to protect and to promote the industrial heritage of Puerto Sagunto, originating from the 20th century. One part of the industrial heritage, for example, is our blast furnace that you can see behind us. The history of industrialization is a truly European history, and it is a story that unites many sites in all places in Europe. And that's why we believe in the European vocation of our industrial heritage. Therefore, we think that we want to become an active agent in the promotion of industrial heritage. We want to establish links with other European sites, and we want to start to exploit the potential of Sagunto as a tourist attraction. Therefore, it is our interest to get in touch with other places and similar entities in Europe. We took our very first steps towards Europeanization in autumn 2018, after a long period of inactivity of the foundation due to political problems. And in fact, our first action in this sense was the application for the Chebec program, one of our first actions. The then general manager of the foundation, Luis Roberto, and me decided to embark on the European travel out of a necessity to raise awareness of the importance of the industrial heritage, both with the citizens of Sagunto and, on the other hand, with local administration. Until now, local administration has been very critical towards European funding, maybe out of fear, maybe it's too complicated, maybe because of the language, we don't know. But on the other hand, we understand that European funding can be quite difficult, it can be quite costly. You might have to invest a large sum beforehand, and the time span can be very large, which is a problem when you count on political legislators, as we do when you depend on public administration. So the Chebec program for us was very useful to discover alternatives, not to be afraid of, let's say, the bigger calls or the bigger European calls, but to start with small actions. During the course of the program, the Chebec program, we have actually taken part in all the training sessions, and we have opened up our possibilities to engage in European programs. We received a lot of useful information, and we got a general overview of all funding possibilities. Furthermore, we learned a lot about all the aspects of process of application. We learned about how to fill in the forms, application forms, what expressions to use, to take into account the criteria of the evaluators later on. And furthermore, we learned how to develop a communication plan, which was very useful for us as well, to establish a network of contacts to get in contact with local stakeholders, regional stakeholders, and so on. So in that sense, Chebec helped us a lot to widen our horizon. We especially benefited from the participants, or from people who came to Chebec to talk about their own experience when it comes to European programs. There were two speakers in particular, Dorothy Fisher and Jeff Alberghi, and we learned that it might be a good idea, or it makes sense to start with smaller projects, or to join projects that are already initiated by more experienced partners, to start working with them, gain experience, and afterwards initiate ourselves with programs as leaders, but first to be partners. because of Dorothy, we got in contact with ALDA, the European Agency for Local Democracy, and we could count on this network of this institution. In fact, we started participating in several exchanges, in several twinning activities. We went to Montenegro, to Slovakia, and we participated in a program in Spain. On the other hand, we are still participating in 2 ongoing programs. One call has been, well, both with Italian cities as leaders. The first has been already approved, and I think it might start in September, October, after the Corona crisis. It's not clear, and the other one is still we are still waiting to get the approval for the other program. On the other hand, we made a lot of contact, or we could establish a lot of contact through Econ Cult, the Econ Cult team of the University of Valencia. We were able to have to get in contact with the inter-university agency for the agency of local development. Sorry, and we actually started an application with them for an Age 2020 program, which unfortunately was rejected, and another call in the Europe for Creative Europe program, together with the Association of Valencian Designers. Well, again, thank you to the organizers of Chebec. It has been a very useful program. It has been a very useful year, or more than a year, and especially thank you to the Econ Cult team.